Hey everyone, it's Varsha from Coaching by Varsha. This is my first time doing a reaction video. I'm going to be playing something called my worst first date ever. It's an animated story. I've never seen this before. I'm going to tape my reaction. I don't know if I'll be saying coaching things, if I'll just be giving my opinions, but it is out of real, true concern and love and care for people in the dating scene, especially women. And I don't know what's going to happen. I've never watched it before. I don't know these people. It is sheer curiosity about what's out there and an opportunity for me to share kind of what I'm about and what I think. And so here it goes. Let's see what comes up.
Oh my goodness, what's up guys? It's Amber. Welcome back to my channel. So, are you guys in your comfiest clothes? Are you ready for a little bedtime story? A really weird version of a bedtime story, but you guys are always asking why I'm still single. Amber, you should have 10 boyfriends. Even though being single and hot is my brand, truth is I can't even find one. I am genuinely convinced that no one has a funnier dating life than me, so I'm gonna spill the tea on myself and tell you some of my wildest, unfortunately for me, true stories.
Okay, so right off the bat, here is what I think. It is so interesting to me, just the way she looks. She's gorgeous, really gorgeous. I'm not surprised her friends are telling her that it's a surprise to them that she's single, but I'm really curious about the facade because the brows are perfect and the lips are perfect and the lashes and all of that to me is really, like, I get it, especially if you're a content creator and you're in front of people. Maybe she talks about makeup. I have no idea who she is. So I get that, and it works for her, right? Like, she's doing it all right. But I'm wondering, like, who finally ever gets to see, like, her real, true personal side. And that's where I'm curious. Like, I'm wondering if it's intimidating for guys, or I think she's talking about dating guys. I'm not sure. I don't want to make that assumption, but I'm just really wondering, like, does somebody actually get to see the real her? Let's see what happens.
Honestly, I couldn't even make it up if I tried. And while my love life is certifiably a disaster, it definitely makes for some great stories if I do say so myself. Did I just turn into a cartoon character?
Okay, so it's officially getting interesting. I love the creativity around this. She has her own character, a cartoon character. Love that. Where I get really concerned is that it's becoming comical that her dating life is, she's laughing about it being a disaster. And I just think that that's sad. And she's not alone in it. Like, I really do hear this a lot, and it's becoming so normal for that to be the case. But it doesn't have to be, nor should it be, that you should call your dating life a disaster. Like, I'm so sorry that you're experiencing that. Doesn't have to be that way.
Hey everyone, so while I was editing this, I realized that I am doing this on a Sunday and my nails are a mess and I don't have that much makeup on. I think I just put lipstick on just for the sake of the video, and I also looked up this woman. So please follow her, like her video, do all the things that support her, because this is not in any way meant to be bashing or anything like that. Coaching is not about fixing anyone. I truly believe that she is whole and complete and capable of doing everything that she wants and getting everything that she wants in her life. This is merely a reaction.
Well, that seems like a good way to start the story. Guys, cartoon me is so cute. Look at that hair. Oh, I can't even do that with extensions. If you like this look, comment below. And oh, look at George. Oh, my sweet little honey butt. Who's my perfect little king? Hey, stop that. George. I'll deal with that later. I know you guys came here for a bad date story, so here we go.
I have a question before we get into it. What are your opinions on whether or not single people should have pets, should not have pets? Personally, it was a hindrance to my personal life if I were to have pets. You kind of have to go home by a certain time to make sure they're cared for. And I don't know, but a lot of my friends who were single and had pets, like, couldn't go out to happy hours on the weeknights, like after work. It's just something to consider. But I do think it also represents, like, stability and trust and the ability to take care of a live thing. So that is a plus.
Was January. Ooh, this kind of tickles. So for Christmas last year, I got my sister Alyssa a really fancy dinner. Like, the fanciest dinner money can buy. You know, the type of place that has 10 forks and I don't know what to do with any of them. We're busy having fun, pretending to be princesses and not understanding literally any of the food, when one waiter comes over to bring bread. And he is so freaking hot. Yes, that hot. Even Alyssa was like, damn. This guy was undeniable. 6'4", man bun, chiseled body, pretty face, blue eyes. Like, are you Prince Charming?
Okay, so this is going to be a little bit controversial. Like, when you go to these kind of restaurants, like, what are you trying to imply about yourself, and what is your automatic thought about the person serving you dinner? Not that there's anything wrong with you or that server, but consider what you've already put yourself in the position of. You are the paying customer, and now there is someone bringing you stuff, and so that dynamic is already created subconsciously about what you think about this person. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it could potentially be a issue in the way that you kind of perceive this person. Now, I don't even know if this is the person she's going to be talking about, but here it is. Oh, by the way, if you're the one animating this, could you reach out to me? Because I think you're really talented and I need some of your services.
Are you Harry Styles? Are you Harry Styles as Prince Charming? And he weirdly became even hotter because of, the bread. The one food on this table I recognize. I looked at Alyssa and she agreed. He was definitely the Guyver. Oh, wait, you don't know what that means. Okay, so me and my sister have a secret language. Let me explain. The Guyver. The one
I love this.
super hot man you see, like, every 7 years. I don't know if you've noticed, but hot guys are, like, going extinct. But every now and then, you see one who just makes you stop and stare. It's like a comet sighting. Don't ask me to explain how he came up with the word Guyver. It's a long story, and I'll put it in another video. Also, I know you all have secret languages with your friends, so just roll with it. So, this waiter...
Do you? Do you have secret languages with your friend? Okay, so I definitely had this. I'm like too embarrassed to even say what it was, but we had this whole thing around frogs and what they represented when it came to like guys that we were interested in and whether or not they were attractive. But I'm really sorry to hear that good-looking guys come very less often in your life. So I think that this is pretty much common in LA and New York for this concept of perfection and how rare you get to see it. And I totally get that. And I think that's kind of where this is going.
Definitely the Guyver. And I just kept staring at him. And he thought that meant I just wanted more bread. So 8 courses into this, I am invested in this man. And I needed to talk to him. So the last time he brought bread, I was like, wow, he is so hot. I'm not giving advice. I'm just telling it like it happened. But I guess it worked because he came back with more bread and our $5 million bill with his number on it. I blurred out his name for privacy. Just kidding, I can't fully remember it. But let's call him Guy, short for the Guyver. And I have zero chill, so I texted.
Can't really remember the name. I have a feeling that's thrown in here for comic relief, and that if you're willing to make a video about these things happening in your life, then it's likely to be pretty impactful. And my hunch is that she probably remembers the name.
Legit the second we left. And get this, he texts me right back. All this flirty stuff, like, you're so hot, I wish I could have talked to you, but I was working, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, I want to take you out for brunch tomorrow. Wow, the turnaround on this thing was incredible. Usually it's like pulling teeth to get a guy to commit to a day and time.
Somebody texting you back should not be considered like a miracle or anything out of the blue. Like, this should start becoming the norm. You give somebody your number and they message you, and so you respond back. Now, obviously there are times when people can't respond back, but the fact that someone asking her out right away is like a surprise or unusual, like, we got to cut this stuff out of the dating scene now. Like, this should not be the way it is, nor does it have to be. And I'm going to get to what I think about the whole let me take you out tomorrow thing, and for her to be excited about the fact that he's asked her out for tomorrow.
But with restaurant Guyver, whose name I can't remember, things were just different. He even chose a rooftop restaurant I love. Responds to my text and picks a good date spot. And brunch? Wow, marry me yesterday.
No, not marry me yesterday. These are the things you should be expecting. This is how good dates, bad dates, everything. Like, this is just the way it should be up front.
Next day, I realize I'm feeling nervous because I haven't seen him in the light of day. But he shows up looking like bad boy band, suave. My favorite man aesthetic. I swear his eyes were freaking glowing in the sun. Like, damn, go off, sis. So we sit down and he actually has stuff to talk about. And yes, has stuff to talk about is my standard these days. The bar is so low, you guys.
That's so sad.
Like, here's basic human decency. And then here are my standards. They're low, but guys are literally out here trying to dig even lower. Like, how are you not meeting the literal nothing I expect of you? Like, if you...
Yeah, totally, right? So let's not have the bar so low and actually trust that we can have more. I think that the dating scene has completely made people jaded that they can have the standards that they deserve. And so now we're just playing in this realm of it's okay to have low standards.
So yes, a guy who talks in complete sentences is a catch, in my opinion. But I spoke too soon because 2 hours in, he hadn't asked me anything about myself. Like, I literally said 0 words. He doesn't know where I work, where I grew up. He doesn't even know if I'm like psycho, which I am. But he didn't ask. And that, my friends, is a red flag. Here's the thing. Other people run away from red flags.
Okay. Yes, it could be a red flag, and there's an opportunity here for you to do something that could potentially change the dynamic. Now, I'm not saying she hasn't done this again. We're speaking about her, but this is just general stuff that I like to say. This is so common, right? A lot of people either like to talk or are nervous or don't know what to say or maybe don't want to intrude enough. And so there is an opportunity for you to also be the one to be like, hey, are you going to be doing all the talking? I'd love to share more about myself and kind of see how that goes. Now, you've got to feel out the vibe. You got to create that trust in order for them to get the joke, but it's potentially available to you. So is this a red flag? Let's find out.
But I run towards them. I'm like a bull, and crazy men are my matador.
And what's up with defining him as crazy just because he's being talkative? I'm not really sure yet. It's the first date, and we're calling him crazy because he talks a lot and hasn't asked questions yet.
Anyway, by the way, the whole time he's talking, there's these 2 vloggers at the table next to us because, you know, this is LA and that's normal. And they're all like, oh my God, check out our flaxseed grass-fed cruelty-free pancakes. And the guy returns to me and goes, ugh, I can't stand people like that. Can you imagine being so vapid that you have to put your whole life on the internet? Disgusting. Wow, come for my whole life, why don't you?
So totally unfortunate that he didn't know more about her before the date. I am a huge believer, and I know that it's impossible to convince anyone that this is even something that can happen, but why not actually get on a call before you go out and spend 2 hours with somebody? It is not impossible nowadays to be like, hey, can I just call you real quick to can we have an actual phone date or a video date? I know the pandemic has made that a lot easier, but consider doing that before you commit to a brunch and before your heart is so in it already.
I know you're on a date with a YouTuber if you literally asked me anything. But I decided to just not tell him. It felt funnier that way. Plus, he was talking so much, I didn't even have a chance. Honestly, I kind of started to tune him out. But then I heard him say something about jail? Prison, actually. What? How'd you end up in jail? So I'm expecting...
So this is not surprising. She knew nothing about him before the dinner, and so what is making people assume that everyone who asked them out is going to be like the picture perfect person. Like there was no vetting of this guy before agreeing to go to a brunch. And that's why something like a phone call, maybe chatting some more in general, would have done her a lot of good. I mean, yeah, some of these big things may not have come out until the date, but at least you would have had some time to like actually gauge whether this is the right person before sitting at an official date and thinking that this is like the right way to do things, and expecting it to go well. I'm not surprised. Anyone off the street, anybody serving me at a restaurant could potentially have this kind of a background. Not surprised.
Silly story about trespassing or something, but he goes, I was in for bringing a knife to school, armed robbery, grand theft, and oh, I also used to deal drugs. Oh man, I think that is actually too many red flags. Should I go? Finally, he's like, let's get out of here, away from these terrible vloggers.
By the way, I wouldn't even categorize this as a date because this is really just the same thing as meeting someone at a bar and starting up a conversation. Like they don't know each other. A date is when you're like, I'm interested in you. We've talked, we know each other. Should we go out to a nice romantic, dinner or do this, but like after we know each other and actually want to be on a date with one another? This is no different than a casual encounter.
People. And, oh God, yes, please get us away from the vloggers. So we get outside and all of a sudden this middle school age girl like pops out and she's like, Amber, I love your YouTube videos. Can I take a picture with you?
Okay, this woman's famous and I don't know her. I'm so sorry. This could really blow up in my face that I'm doing this video. But you know what I will say? I'm going to keep doing it anyways. I love that she's so aware of like the way her experience is going, because if she was just completely blind to it and brushing it off, the potential of being with this person despite these red flags could be more of a risk. So I love that she's at least introspective enough to like realize what's happening, and even though she's saying her bar is low, I have a feeling that her bar is perfectly in a great place and that she actually does have some really good standards.
And guys just standing there dumbfounded, like, what was that? And I'm like, oh yeah, I make YouTube videos. It was seriously the most iconic moment of my life. And then he goes, oh shit, Ma, I didn't know it was like that. So eloquent. I have great taste in men, I know. Anyways, I went home and I'm assuming he...
Oh, don't be so hard on yourself. You did not choose this guy. You're just on one date. I think that if you were like 3 months into a relationship and still having these red flags and not doing anything, it'd be a totally different story. But it's okay. You're totally fine. You went on one little acquaintance, get to know each other date.
Want to see me again after all that, but he starts hitting me up all the time. And I'll be honest, I did consider it. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, right. And all those things. Well, I guess it's back to the drawing board.
Absolutely love it. Like, yes, hold out for love, girl. Like, you have so much great potential and opportunity out there for you. Don't stop that. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about this video. I hope it doesn't blow up in my face. I hope I will go and check out her videos now. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more about this. And I look forward to the next one.